Welcome back to the channel. Tonight we have an Airfix Vintage Classic. This is the World War I male tank, the Mark I. I earlier, a few years back, did a review on the female tank. This mold is just as old, 1967. They did add some new parts in 2010, and it's been reboxed kind of consistently since. Lately, released a few years back as part of their Vintage Classic line. So you get some nice Roy Cross box art on the front of it. And then on the back is the painting guide with obviously Humbrol callouts. Quite a unique camouflage scheme. So we'll go into this behemoth, which was the first tank. They did about 150 of them into production in the First World War, and it was quite a thing at the time. So the instructions, very low part count. The instructions are fairly straightforward. First two pages is about the history and the standard, assembly guides about study the plans and watch what you're gluing. Then we have page 1 with the guns, the 6-pounder naval guns, the sponsons, the side attachments, sponsons going on the sides, and then the rest of the vehicle that goes together, including the driving section there, steering wheels. And the springs were always a tricky part. I remember from doing 2 of these already. I've done 1 male and 1 female tank. And these were the trickiest part of the build, if I say so myself. You get a grand total of, I believe, 1 decal, which is Her Majesty's Landship Dragonfly, if you can barely make that out. But it is indeed there. There we go. And then we have the 2 sprues, very low part count, plus the tracks, of course. So sprue number 1 is this one here with the sponsons, the sides of the tanks, the guns, the 6-pounders, and the top end of the tank, as well as the spring for the steering arms, spring sets. That's number 1. And then sprue number 2 is the other half, the steering wheel assembly, the drive wheel assembly, the bottom half of the tank, and the other sides. The doors for the sponsons, like I said, the driving wheels, etc. Pretty finely molded, I'll say, for the age of the mold. It's not bad. If you look at the back side, you can see the injection pin marks. There's not really a problem with that there. The molding's pretty good when you consider how old it is. It's almost 60 years old. These are fun to paint up and weather, just like their larger brothers. And then we have the tracks made out of the mysterious rubber compound that no one knows how to glue. In the end, most people use a tip of a hot screwdriver and melt the edges together. You can try glue, but yeah, I've yet to find a material that, other than maybe CA glue, that'll work on these. But again, they're actually pretty finely molded. They will weather up nicely. If you have a look there, you can see the they are molded correctly. So yeah, short and sweet. So part of the Vintage Classic collection, the World War I male tank, the Mark I. Great for your wargaming boards because they go together pretty quick, or again as a weathering exercise. So check that out. As always, you'll find a full photos and the video also at blackfire.ca. Don't forget, we also do a podcast called the Scale Model Podcast. I do with some good friends. And that's about it for this one. So, as always, thank you and Be well.